Well, Brian White is on his way back from Muskegon, Michigan, and I understand that it's true that your chauffeur has a chauffeur. Is that right?
I'm a good supervisor, Randy. I'm a good supervisor, but sometimes I feel like maybe I should have someone to supervise. So
Yeah.
what I've been doing is supervising other people, supervising the Tesla,
Yeah.
and that's working well. So I get to actually check the news. I get to actually do my research and take notes and prepare for things. Though I make sure it never shows
It never shows that you've
the
prepared.
preparation.
Yes,
Yeah. Oh
yes,
no,
yeah,
you don't
yeah,
want that.
yeah.
Don't want to seem uppity.
So one of your sons has been doing the so-called driving.
Hmm.
The car has been doing the driving. That's why I'm saying it's a chauffeur
Yeah,
being
it's
chauffeured.
wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's he's never driven at tremendous speeds before.
Oh, okay.
Like middle of the country
Right,
interstate kind of
right,
speeds.
right,
There are stretches of road with speed limits up to 80,
right.
and he thought he would be very nervous, and he wasn't because the car is so easy to drive.
There you go. There you
And
go.
my wife, who has not driven in many years because she was afraid of the size of the minivan and even the Model Y, has driven the Model 3 and could not believe that she was anxious about it because it was so easy.
All right. Well, these are good stories. These are good stories. So you were in Muskegon. You were kind of one of the big deals there, kind of some kind of manager. Did you manage well? Did the show go well?
Show went fantastic. I was the MC of the event, so I introduced all the panels. I ran the Q&A for all but one of the panels, and I moderated two of the panels. So I was on stage all day. But
Oh,
yes, it went
hated
fantastic.
hated every minute of it.
Well, I got very hot and sleepy, but it was great. All the audience said how well everyone seemed to fit together, and I said that's because I've been spending years putting these groups together. I know who knows each other, what area of expertise fit, and you know, it was a masterpiece. I was really pleased with how it came out.
Well, you had some major players there, like Sandy Monroe and others. And so, did you learn anything from this particular get together?
No, that's not what we do. We don't learn. We just mostly pat each other on the back and say what great, cool dudes we are. No, we learned a whole lot. Too much to distill into a few sound bites. But you don't get on stage with Sandy Monroe, Sue Monroe, and Jordan Giesecke and myself as the one asking questions without learning a bunch of things. And for the Q&A of that session, we should have just called it Ask Sandy because that's who all the questions were for.
I see. I see. So what was on people's mind? I'm guessing some people were interested in robotaxi, cybercab. If it's Sandy, maybe they wanted to know some of the details of cybercab, or what were people looking for?
Well, there were questions about, is it really going to be as simple as we think to make it? What are they going to make the floor out of? What inherent advantages does it have? That led to discussions about Slate, the pickup truck, and some disagreements on that and how that's going to go. But yeah, it was. And then, of course, we talked quite a bit about batteries because when you got Jordan Giesecke, you got to talk batteries. And one of the things we learned was that there's some new procedures coming up for both the 4680 and the 2170s, which could stand to add range improvements of watt hour per kilogram improvements of 2 to 3% in the next year or two. If your battery pack was 2 to 3% lighter, your curb weight noticeably drops.
Yeah, there was some articles out this. Maybe it was Giesecke himself who was reporting to
Mm-hmm.
X that
Yes.
there was potential for using nanotubes and reducing the wall thickness of the batteries themselves in particular on the 4170s.
On the 2170s, yes, that right, that is new. The Panasonic ones, and that was something that he was sharing with us over the weekend. That he said, "Well, this isn't being. I don't think this is being recorded. If it is, by the time it comes out, it'll be something I can release." So yes, that was one of the things. We also talked about silicone doping for the for the batteries themselves to make them more resilient, Sandy talked about some of the competitors in the battery space. These events are pretty amazing. We had an FSD panel with Dirty Tesla, Jim the Iowa Tesla guy, Tech Geek Tesla. I mean, these are and wife of Dirty Tesla, and one other, and I don't remember. I think it's a Dirty Tesla, wife of Dirty Tesla, Jim Spencer, Tech Geek Tesla, and it was moderated by Mark from the Tesla Life. These are people who know FSD inside out, who have done A/B testing between models in different cities in challenging environments. And it was interesting to see what they thought of the successes, but also of the shortcomings and the areas for improvement. Guys, if you don't get out to these events, I beg of you, try to find one. Join us, won't you?
What
And
would
we'll
you,
be back in Michigan next year, but
right.
that's a ways out.
What would you think would be one or two of the top failure, not failures, one of the one or two of the top things that they were hoping FSD would get right that it's not quite there yet?
So a lot of these people do not test on the coasts. In fact, none of them. They're all in the Midwest. They're all in the Midwest. So they have a very different perspective. So Chicago, Iowa, and Michigan. What I've observed is that whatever version is happening in San Francisco, outside of California, it feels like it's a version behind. And in the middle of the country, when you get more than 100 miles from the coast, when you get away from the bread crust, it feels another version behind that. So like today, driving through Nebraska, I'm behind. I don't know if FSD understands what weather is, because when it's raining like crazy, it still drives very fast. Like for real, I need you to slow down. And then it cuts behind a truck that's spraying so aggressively from the water off its wheels. And all of a sudden, red hands of death take over. I can't see. Maybe turn the windshield wipers on, would you? I mean, I can't see either. Turn the damn things on. So it's crazy. And I don't have problems like that on the coast. And the reports you see in places like Austin, which I guess might be more than 100 miles from the coast, but out in Austin, in California, there it looks very good, very competent all the time. But I'm telling you, out here in corn country, ooh, shucks.
Okay.
Yeah. I figured you'd get that one eventually.
Well, I kind of grew up right where you're talking about. So, and I did have corn from time to time. I've shucked corn, actually.
You've detasseled.
They had that too. So,
Yeah.
And then, so anyway, you had the big light show. People are still talking about it. That was quite a deal.
It was such a masterpiece. The light show, Simon always does a truly fantastic job, but Simon had a different challenge this time because we had a drone show along with it. Northern Lights drones from, I think, Milwaukee, 100, 400, a lot of drones, but it was a lot, hundreds of drones. And these two creators had to put a show together using the same soundtrack, coordinated to the same beats, the same themes throughout, so that the music that Simon put together on the ground, the lights on the ground, made sense with what's being shown in the air. And these people didn't just use stock assets. We had a 3D Optimus conductor, and we're looking at it, because it's far enough away, it looks two-dimensional. We think, wow, they made it look three-dimensional. Next day, we see drone footage from the side. No, it was three-dimensional. The arms were outstretched. The Cybertruck did exist in 3 dimensions. The Cybercab was opening its door in 3 dimensions.
That's amazing. That's crazy.
Truly they put their hearts into every show.
That's fantastic. So
yeah, sorry, but yeah.
Okay. So what was the
I was just saying that my network connection is obviously not great.
No, it's not great. From time to time, I'm kind of just waiting and hoping. So I was wondering, what was the mood of the Tesla community at the show?
That's a great question. So the first thing is 3 months ago when we were doing shows, 4 months ago, there was a real dark cloud over all things Tesla because there had been a lot of vandalism, there'd been some violence, there'd been some arson. And I don't know if you've noticed, but that's quieted down quite a bit.
Yeah.
So the fear wasn't there. That's a good start. But there's a lot of optimism in the community. We've got good news. We had very fresh good news on robotaxi deployment. We've got, no bad news. The stock is doing reasonably well. So the mood was great. And these events have been going on long enough now that we have a lot of regulars, people that we see not just at every event in Michigan, but some who will come to other ones, whether it's in Chattanooga or St. George or out in California. And you get to see familiar faces, and pretty soon you're all friends.
Right. So if there was any talk going on other than, of course, the robotaxi event on Sunday, what was on their mind? What were the other subjects they were most interested in?
It was really all that. It was robotaxi. It was when can I get it? It was will Hardware 3 get it? It's do I need a bumper cam? Can I make money? Those were the real topics of discussion, and a number of people sharing with each other the share price at which they will be able to retire. And it's no longer, so far in the future that it wouldn't be unreasonable to expect to get there sometime before one dies of old age.
Well, especially if you believe Randy's price targets. I mean, if you believe Randy's price target.
Well, fortunately, fortunately, no one does.
Oh, that's So we were up 10% today, counting the after hours, or the pre-market. So if we get it, we only need to get 3 more days like this, and we get to all-time highs. So,
well, and here's the beauty of what I saw from the robotaxi rollout. The media went out there and they were like, we're going to cover this. Hey, can I get a beer plus one? Oh, no, sorry. I have a plus one, or you know what? Just no. And then when people were hopping out of the taxis, they'd say, hey, how was it? It was amazing. Can I ask you a couple questions? No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Sorry, I don't have time. And they were so frustrated that Bloomberg ran with the headline, "Robotaxi disappoints with fewer units and geofencing and safety drivers. What a mess up on Tesla's part." And all I could say is, you see, that's why no one wants to talk to you. You can't. I don't trust you. I can't trust you. You've proven yourself untrustworthy.
Yes.
So sorry, Bloomberg.
Absolutely true. So now, were you still in Michigan on Sunday when the robotaxi rollout was happening?
Was it? So yeah, that was on Sunday. So yes, we finished up the show Saturday night at 5 p.m. And I had a number of people say that they would invite me as their plus one, but we didn't know what the plus one rules were. Oh. So are you only going to get one ride? Do you have to pick a specific plus one? There was no clarity yet. And they said calls will be going out Saturday night to tell you all the details you need to know. Mm-hmm. And we had to make a decision. Mm-hmm. And I've been nothing but burned on hoping to be a plus one in the past. So I had a decision. Am I going to fly out and leave my family here for a couple of days, which I could do at tremendous cost, but whatever. Are we going to drive through the night, which we could do? There's 4 of us who are driving in that car. We could do it. To get there on day one. We had a decision to make, and we didn't get the information until it was sufficiently late that we would not have been able to get there day one.
And they're so lackadaisical about the plus one that even I could have been a plus one.
Yeah, absolutely. So I could have gotten in, but I didn't know that. And I've tried. I've done probably 7 trips before, on a +1 that never materialized. I can't do it. I'm not going to do that again. And in the meantime, I got an invitation to something very exciting out west from a materials science company. They've got an event coming up that we're not supposed to talk about, but it will be, what am I going to do? You know, this is a company that's doing groundbreaking science, that wants me there, that wants my help, that gets what I do. Or I could spend $1,000 and days of my life while abandoning my family in another state to be day 3 of coverage on someone sitting behind the seat and not driving, which is, I took some footage of that in the car today. My son was not driving. And so I said, this is it. This is the same thing. It looks just like this. So I think that'll be an exciting cap to a video that will run on Tuesday morning. Yeah.
All right. Okay, good. All right. Any last thoughts about Muskegon? What anything that I didn't ask, or anything that people would be interested in that took place?
So Friday was the light show. It was amazing. Saturday was the panels and the presentations, and then the VIP meet and greet, which was just great. But the reality is the event is small enough that you get to meet all these people anyway, and you get to hang out with them, and you get to find out what kind of pizza everybody likes. It's just so fascinating. If you're one of those kids who won't shut up about dinosaurs, except with Tesla, these are your people. We never tell you to shut up about it because it's just exciting to us. We're just like you. Next event like this is going to be in California, in San Mateo, I guess, in July. And then after that, I don't know, probably St. George in October. I won't be at that one because they put it the week before Halloween, and Halloween is my jam.
Yeah, I know.
Can't draw me away for that.
Halloween, yeah.
Yeah. So, closing thoughts. We had a great time. We went way over budget. It's a perilous situation, but we'll do better next time.
All right. Okay, Brian White, thank you so much. People should follow him on Futuraza, and then you might want to follow him all around the country to Chattanooga and to Muskegon and other funny name. Have you guys organized anything for 𝐤𝐚𝐚𝐢𝐥 yet?
Not 𝐤𝐚𝐚𝐚𝐢𝐥. Still trying to sort out the details for Walla Walla. If you guys have any, we should do that. Maybe next year we'll do a funny city name tour, and go nuts with that, because the shirts alone would be worth gold. It'd be great.
That's right. 100%. Okay, Brian, thank you so much. And all of you out there, it's been great talking to you.